Hello and welcome to the Midweek Thought. Now, some years ago, when I was a student, we were in a flat in Plymouth, and we heard this awful noise and a breaking of glass in one of our flatmates' rooms. Anyway, we knocked on the door and we couldn't get any answer. And in the end, we decided, because there was no answer and someone clearly in the room, we decided to kick the lock off and get into the room. And our friend was lying on the ground with his hand through the window. He'd had an epileptic fit, something that actually we didn't know about. I mean, being young, being students, and of course the friend had put his hand through, accidentally put his hand through the window. First response was to call for an ambulance. And an ambulance duly arrived. Although it has to be said, he didn't want to go when he came round. And in some ways I can't blame him, but there we are. Our first response was to call for an ambulance. And in any kind of serious need, we would probably phone a 999. If we didn't think it was that bad, maybe we'd phone 111. And if it wasn't terribly urgent, then we'd phone our doctor. I don't know about you, but often I find myself relying on my own resources first. I think it's normal. We're kind of, in a way, some way, we're made like that, aren't we? We're made to survive. We're made to look after ourselves. But I think because of this, when we've got a problem, we tend to try and fix it ourselves. So, say my friend had been seriously injured by putting his hand through the window. We wouldn't have sat around thinking, oh well, he'll probably be okay. Our first response was to get the ambulance. And I think in life as well, our first response, actually, when we encounter a problem or something, actually should be first to turn to God. And so often, God is the last response when we've run out of ideas. And I think in a way, that's a real shame. We're missing out on what He can do for us. On Sunday, Ian spoke on Psalm 101, and I was really struck by that psalm, and I'm going to read it again. It says this: I will lift my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade in your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. That's an amazing promise. The Lord will watch over us. And so in times of crisis, or indeed times of happiness, we can turn to the Lord and say, please can you help me? Turn to Him. And maybe in a moment of joy, we can turn and thank Him. But let's turn to the Lord as a first response rather than a last response, because He can bring everything that we need. I hope you have a really good week, and may God bless you. Amen.